I finally read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. How exciting. So exciting. If there's any part of this video that resonates with you, that made you feel some kind of way, chuckled, whatever, you could timestamp your reaction. I love to see those in the comments. Or you could just comment. I am taking part in the Harry Potter and the Virgins read-along. I had to take part in it because I'm like, I've never read Harry Potter. And I'm somebody who's watched pretty much every movie. I almost feel like I've never... I'm trying to remember if I finished. Yeah. I actually finished the 7th and 8th movie. That 7th movie thing, I'm gonna have to read the 7th book to see if they really needed 2 parts to that movie. But I've seen all of the movies before reading this, which I'll say made reading the book a little bit more challenging, because in reading this, I'm trying to picture the characters, how they're described in the book, taking cues from the book to kind of put the characters together in my head instead of just falling back on the movie. And it worked a little bit. Like Professor McGonagall, I can actually see a character that's not what is in the movies. Dame Maggie Smith like did a really great job in the movie, and at times I would see her with reading the book, but I also have like a different idea based on like reading the description in the book what she looked like. To me, she has this brown, like crinkly, curly hair, like crinkly hair. She just has a different face to Maggie Smith. But I do think that having seen the movies before reading the book, I know how the story ends, so that was kind of like, ugh, it was just kind of a drag. The suspense is gone a little bit, and I do think that like reading the book first before watching the movie would have been a lot easier. You get to experience the mystery for the first time, and then even if you read it again, you're just kind of like picking up on any clues. I won't lie, coming down to the end of the book, because I started so late in the month reading the book and I wasn't reading as consistently throughout the rest of the month when I was reading the book, I didn't finish the book before the live show for the Harry Potter and the Virgins, and I was trying to like read the ending because I was like, okay, we're already in February. I need to finish the book. I have other books that I want to start to read. So coming on to the end, I kind of got a little impatient with the ending because I was like, oh my gosh, is this book really still going on? We just figured out what happened. Like, wrap it up. I was just kind of rushing to end it, so that kind of soured the experience for me. So I'm willing to read the book again. I enjoyed the mystery, although I kind of knew the outcome. I just still enjoyed it. I enjoy the writing because I think JK Rowling is a really great writer. She gives it personality. Like, you get a sense of their voice and how they talk very clearly. She describes things in short burst of description, although sometimes for certain things like Hermione's description, like she needed to really give it a few more drops of information so that we can start piecing a better picture. And then the whole Hermione thing with like Hermione's like black, that's a little problematic for me because now I feel like JK Rowling is lying about Hermione being black with like the stage play coming out, and they wanted to get a little diversity going on. It was her way of kind of being able to say, oh, I'm diverse. I intentionally meant to put a black character, but you know, the movie studios didn't want that. And you know, so now with the stage play, I can have a black character. Yeah, that was what I really wanted in the first place, but she didn't really want to buy black because at the end of the day, it's not really spelled out in the book, because that's my issue with the Hermione description. It's like she's just described by her hair and her teeth, and there's no other like, oh, her skin is dark or anything. A lot of the characters aren't. They're just given a name, like I think it's Pava Patel, or is it Priva or Parva? She isn't given like enough description to kind of say, hey, this person, this is what they look like, here's an idea of what they look like. And say all this to say, like, I don't know, I don't really believe that Hermione is actually black. If you can give Hermione just her hair and her teeth, you could give Parva Patel and some of the other characters like Lee Jordan and stuff like that, like specific to make it understood that this person looks this way. But beyond all of that, I enjoyed The Sorcerer's Stone. I'm willing to read it again. I had fun reading it. It was a really nice introduction to the Wizarding world, to the Harry Potter world, to just magic and this whole new world. Going to Diagon Alley, going to Gringotts. going on this little adventure deep into Hogwarts to like the little, I don't know, the stuff that they're guarding. I just think probably as a middle grader, it's like so much more immersive compared to being an adult reading this for the first time. It's like, it's immersive, but it's also like, it's kind of like me now when I went to Disney World, like going to the rides. Like I feel like if I was younger, I wouldn't notice all the mechanics and stuff that go into making these rides and making everything an experience. Like, I can immerse myself in it as a kid because it's like, you're just excited to be there. And now as an adult, it's kind of like you're a little bit more jaded. So you see all the mechanics, you see like where the wheels and the levers and the hands and the wires and everything are. So like, you can still go and enjoy it, but at the same time, you're like, I know how all this works. I know what's going on. I'm smart. I know what's up. I would read it again, and I actually want to rewatch the movie to see how much stuff that they kept from the books and how much stuff that they left out of the books. Because I do know that all of the movies of Harry Potter that Christopher Columbus did are pretty much like by the book. And once they transitioned to different directors, it was mostly to the book, but they kind of left a lot of stuff out because books got a little longer and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to reading the other books and seeing like what triggers a memory from the movies and what's kind of like, oh, that's not in a movie. Not necessarily comparing the book to the movie, it's more like just kind of seeing the story the way I would have if I'd never seen the movie. I'm really piecing and building the world up that way. And I like being able to build it organically and not just leaning on the movie itself. But I'm looking forward to seeing how I feel about it. Like, I listened to the read, and Crystal read the books, like, I think last year or the year before for the first time. I think she watched the movies, or at least she started watching the movies for the first time, and she didn't like it. Although I've seen the movies before, I want to see how they compare now to the books. And I'm looking forward to continuing this read along and seeing how I feel going forward about the entire Harry Potter series. That's gonna be exciting. So also exciting, this journey into the Harry Potter wizarding world. So I have fun reading this, and I'm looking forward to finishing the Chamber of Secrets and talking about how I feel about that one. So far, I've enjoyed that one too. Almost considering that I might enjoy it more than this. Like, not equally, but even more, because I feel like it's just gotten even better. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I have fun, and I'm out this bitch like Fleek. The fuck.